All right, let's get back to that developing news out of Minneapolis. The investigation into a deadly Catholic school shooting is in its early hours. It happened yesterday during morning mass and in students' first week back after summer break.
A tragic and unimaginable loss. There are so many questions this morning, but here's what we know so far. 2 children, ages 8 and 10, are dead. 17 are hurt. Just 3 of those who were shot but survived are adults. The FBI says this is being investigated as domestic terrorism and a hate crime. Police say the 23-year-old shooter bought the guns used in this legally and took her own life.
This morning, some Connecticut communities are increasing patrols at schools and places of worship as a cautionary response to the tragedy, and that includes Berlin.
And NBC Connecticut's Julia LeBlanc is live outside the police department. And Julia, it's important for families to create a safe space so that they can have these difficult conversations.
Yeah, absolutely. And before they do that, Taylor and Eddie, we want to just make it clear for our viewers at home that there is no active threats that we are aware of to any schools or places of worship here in Connecticut. However, our police departments, like here in Berlin, are taking the precautions to have extra patrols in those areas today in light of what happened in Minneapolis yesterday. Now, they are taking to social media to let the public know about these efforts. In their statement, Berlin police wrote in part, quote, "To be clear, protecting our children and our community is not just our duty, it's our deepest responsibility." Now, other departments are also stepping up their police presence, like in Middletown, Colchester, and Cheshire, much of them stressing they want to ease anxieties for parents. It is something that, of course, Mark Barden of Sandy Hook Promise says he understands all too well after losing his son, Daniel, in the Sandy Hook shooting 12 years ago. Barden says his heart is breaking for these families in Minneapolis, now embarking on this horrific journey. But he wants the world to understand that it is important to have violence prevention programs in place in our schools.
The students who were trained in our Know the Signs programs have now prevented 18 school shooting plots that were imminent and ready to happen purely by using our Know the Signs programs and all of these tragedies that didn't happen. So I think that our community members, we all have a role to play. Everybody needs to be part of the solution.
Now back out here live for parents who have kids who have heard about this news and are feeling anxious about it. Barden says that that is expected, that is normal, and it's important for parents to acknowledge those feelings. However, he wants to reassure those families that still, to this day, statistics show, and he does a lot of research with Sandy Hook Promise, that schools are still the safest place for children to be. We're live here in Berlin. Julia LeBlanc, NBC Connecticut News.
All right, Julia, we appreciate the update. Thank you.